Hello, Sagittarius. This is going to be your month ahead reading for August. Now we're starting out with an oracle card to see what kind of energy or your primary theme is for the month of August. We're in frame. Yeah. So we have against the clock. Have you been procrastinating lately? Is there something you've been putting off? You're going against the clock. Your time is running out. Or maybe there's something that's going to come up in August that you keep trying to put off. If it's something that's already been in the works, something that's been ongoing, that there are already plans set for, that there is already a deadline in August, you need to get on it. Don't cut yourself short here. This particular procrastination is not going to benefit you in any way. You need to stay ahead of it. I would say at least a few days minimally. So give yourself the space and the time to do this justice, to do yourself justice here. And that was very strongly coming through for you. No procrastinating here. You need to hit, if ideally you have to get it in before the deadline, and you can't be cramming it all in at the end because you're going to miss some key things, which is not going to look good for you if you miss those. This is a month, especially because also we have Mercury retrograde going on. You want to make sure you are really looking into it, especially if this has to do with contracts or where agreements are going to be signed. You have to give it the time. For this to work out in your favor, you have to give it the time and the attention and get it in before the deadline if possible. To get it done at least a few days before, and maybe even have somebody else look over it for you before you turn it in. Give yourself time for corrections if needed. All right, now let's look into your tarot cards. So we have the Four of Wands, the Fool, the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Three of Wands. So you're bookmarked with wands here at the beginning and the end of the month. At the beginning of the month, let me just look here. It looks like you have some advisors as part of this project, and there's a piece of this that's new to you, which is why you really need to pay attention, and you really need to do the research and analysis. Okay, now let's get into the individual cards. We're starting off with the Four of Wands here. Wands in general are a fire element, very appropriate for you. And this is about a celebration. Fours are about foundation, stability, doing the groundwork. This is a celebration. Usually it indicates a wedding or a commitment of some type, where two sides or two communities are joining together and committing to support each other, building or creating that base, that foundation from which to build a life, from which to build something that's going to benefit all. And then we have the Fool. This is a major arcana card. This is the very first card in the major arcana. This is the Fool. This is the person that's going on the journey. All they're doing is going to be putting one foot in front of the other and trusting that wherever they end up is the right place to be. That they will know what to do, or they will learn what to do when they get there. This is why it's really important. In your case, though, you have a deadline. Maybe that is the end of August. And because this is a new thing for you, or there's some aspect of it, minimally one small aspect of it that is new to you, you need to take the time to go through each step as you come across it and make sure that you're doing it correctly, that you fully understand each piece of it, each paragraph, each line, verse, etc. Whatever it is, whatever this subject area is, you need to make sure you're understanding it. You're going to learn different things about each one as you get to them, but you need to make sure you're taking the time, because this isn't an experience or a journey that you can cram in to just a couple days. You're going to need most of this month to really suss it out, to get to know all the parties involved, and make sure that you fully understand what's coming and what you're agreeing to or what you're creating. And then we have the Queen of Cups. So cups are about our emotions and intuition. This can be this Queen of Cups. So it's feminine energy, which is very receptive energy, more of introverted type, but not necessarily an introvert, just that receptive energy, internal energy. It's also the Queen, which is very nurturing. Her emotions don't control her, if that makes sense. She's not reacting to emotions. She is responding to what's going on around her. Very mature when it comes to her emotions and her emotional responses. The emotional IQ is on point here. This feels like an advisor for you. So this is somebody that you know that is very sure of themselves when it comes to relationships or interacting with other people, with understanding how others may be feeling about a situation, how they might respond. She also knows how to elicit certain emotions out of people, which could be very valuable for information for you in whatever this is that you're creating. There is a sense here where you want to appeal on an emotional level to those who will be receiving this final document. So if it's a paper for school or a project for work, there is an emotional piece to it. It may not look like it on the surface, but there is definitely the chance to trigger that, to get them emotionally involved, to get them emotionally on your side, if you can take the time to really phrase your message properly, which is, again, going to take time. I have a Sagittarius moon. I know we can be very impatient and fine waiting till the last minute, but you have to make sure you are getting all that information together, because in the last few days before this is due, the people you need to talk to are not necessarily going to be available, which is going to be to your detriment again. And then we have the King of Cups. Now we have the counterpart here. It's a power couple right here. This is the masculine version of the cups. This is extroverted energy, what you are putting out. There is a sense of control with this card. This is somebody who could be manipulative, where they're purposely acting in a way to elicit either negative or positive emotions, but there is definite intention behind how they act when it's coming to emotions. I'm trying to tap in. Is this you? I don't know that this is you. This may be somebody, this may be a challenger, somebody else who is submitting maybe the same for like a proposal or submitting the same paper or whatever. They may try to trigger you and cause you to delay. They may try to throw up blocks. They're going to try to get to you emotionally to delay you in some way so that they can feel like they have the upper hand. Don't allow yourself to be triggered. If you're focusing on this project and not letting yourself get distracted by whatever they say, it's not going to matter. You focus on what it is that you are creating, what you are putting together. And if you're taking the time to do it, you know it's going to be right and it's going to be good. But if you let them get in the way and disrupt your process, again, that's going to delay you and it will be to your detriment. They would be happy to trip you up and have you turn it in late, because actually late is not an option here. There's a deadline. It's hard. It's fixed. Proposals have to be in by that date to be considered, period. And they need to be thorough and well thought out. Possibly, I think your lead here could be putting, so what just came to mind is for example, if you're putting an offer in on a house and there are multiple bidders, maybe your client or you put in a personal letter with your offer for the seller to read that may connect with them emotionally and cause them to consider your offer over others. It's that type of a thing. putting that personal touch into it. That's how you're going to win or succeed here. And then we have the Two of Wands as your final card here. The Two of Wands, yeah, that's right, I did bookmark you here. Wands at the front and the end. This is a celebration, bringing two sides together. This is, a lot of times it's two people, two cards, two things, decisions. With the Two of Wands, because wands are also fire, passion, creativity. This is where you're contemplating possibilities. Which direction do you want to take the message? What do you want to push for? Which one are you more passionate about? This is a decision card. And again, it's related to this whole thing that has to do with timing. Do you want to turn it in on the day that it's due, a week before, or 2 days before? It feels like timing, again, because it's so huge here, is the key. I think 2 days before is good. That feels the most right. Well, okay, that might be maybe why that's why we have the 2 here. It almost lends the or gives the impression or helps them see your eagerness, your passion for this. So your goal is to not necessarily put it in so early that it seems like you didn't spend any time on it, and you definitely don't want to turn it on the deadline where it may seem as if you waited as long as possible and may have rushed it. So 2 days ahead, for whatever reason, that's the strong thing coming in, is what you want. Even from the beginning, I was getting 2 days ahead. 2 days before the deadline, you want to be done. Maybe if you want someone else to review it, give yourself even a couple more days to have them review it, and then you can make any changes or take in that feedback to determine if you want to make changes, and then submit it, though, 2 days prior to the deadline. Okay, let's see what you have on the bottom of the deck. The Page of Pentacles. So if this is related to a home or finance or work, these two play off each other really well. So pages are fresh energy, young energy, new energy. This is somebody who is excited about what's to come. They don't know how anything works or anything like that yet. Think of it like an apprentice or somebody who's just graduated high school and is just about to go off to college. They kind of know what they want to do, but that may change once they're actually learning, once they're actually in the new environment. So there's some flexibility in here, but there's also this sense of excitement and an eagerness to give it a go, looking forward to the possibilities. Now, pentacles are also kind of the slower moving energy, so it could be that the people who are receiving this proposal or offer or whatever it is here from you may take a little bit longer than expected to make their decision, because they've never sold a home or whatever it is. They've never participated in this before, and they really want to take the time to thoroughly read all of everything that's coming in, which is why it's important, again, to try to put some emotion, some indication of your passion for this, and elicit then an emotional response from them, a positive one. And again, don't let your competitors throw you off your game, but they will try. They will try to trigger you. Be aware of that. Right. You got this, Sag. Do the work, though. Give it the time it needs. Give it the respect, and yourself the respect to do this, and it'll be a success. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius, for the month of August. Please hit that like button and please hit subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.